There were many interesting and important events in spaceflight in the past year. In today's episode, we will mention 5 of them, which should not be missed. 2022 was, without exaggeration, a record-breaking year. There were 186 attempts to reach orbit. The record from 2021 was thus beaten by 41 launches. The most launches, 87, were conducted by the United States, followed by China with 64 launches, and Russia in third place with 21 launches. By the way, the fact that SpaceX conducted a total of 61 launches in 2022 means that almost every third rocket launched last year belonged to SpaceX. On September 26th, at 23:14 UTC, an American DART probe collided with an asteroid Dimorphos. The collision of the 600 kg weighing probe at a speed of 6.6 km per second was intended in order to test the change in the asteroid's orbit. This method could be helpful when Earth is threatened with a collision with a dangerous space object. The historically unique experiment turned out to be excellent. On average, computer models estimated that the asteroid's orbital period would be shortened by 10 minutes. In reality, however, it was astonishing 32 minutes. Ejecting of more than 1 million kilograms of material from the asteroid had a great influence on that. It is the internal composition of the target that affects how effective the trajectory change will be. The Russian invasion of Ukraine affected many fields of human activities, and spaceflight was not spared. In the course of a few weeks, relationships built up over many years have been broken, and Russia has been becoming more and more isolated since then. The only exception is the International Space Station, where all the partners continue to work together. However, many customers, especially one Webb company, refused to use Russian launch vehicles. The most forceful reaction was probably that of the European Space Agency. It terminated the European-Russian ExoMars 2022 mission and also withdrew its instruments from the planned Russian lunar probes Luna. In both cases, specialists have already found an alternative solution. The Rosalind Franklin rover will fly to Mars later, and the scientific instruments for the Moon will be placed on American landers. The end of the supply of Russian engines to the United States caused Northrop Grumman to redesign its Antares rockets. Engines for a new first stage will be supplied by Firefly Aerospace. In the first half of 2022, spaceflight fans, along with astronomers, were watching with excitement the most complex assembly of space vehicle in history. The entire process contained hundreds of steps that were critical to the success of the mission. The James Webb Space Telescope successfully passed all the difficult stages and showed us its first scientific images in July. This commenced a new era of astronomical research. When the SLS rocket lifted off on November 16th, the several-year waiting for the launch of the Artemis program ended. Orion spacecraft flew past the Moon during the Artemis 1 mission, entered its orbit, and returned safely to Earth on December 11th. Although there was no crew on board the Orion during this test flight, it was still an extremely important mission. the reliability of all the systems that will allow people to return to the moon in the upcoming years were thoroughly tested. And what's more, the SLS rocket has become the most powerful present-day launcher. You will find a link to our Twitter in the description below. If you want to receive notifications for new episodes of spaceflight news, as well as other interesting pieces of information from space, go ahead and subscribe it.